Good afternoon, everyone. So, friends, in our last lecture, we discussed about the pressure, that is atmospheric pressure, absolute pressure, and gauge pressure. We obtained their relation also. So, the concept of atmospheric pressure, its relation again, its value, then it is total pressure inside the liquid column. Next was, that is gauge pressure also. That concept we have learned in our last lecture. Now, depending upon the same part, we have to study the next concept, that is hydrostatic paradox. So what is hydrostatic paradox? This is again important concept related with fluids. What is the hydrostatic paradox? It states that the shape of vessel containing the liquid does not affect the pressure. Very simple statement of hydrostatic paradox. The hydrostatic paradox states that the shape of vessel does not affect the pressure, or the pressure exerted by liquid in a container is independent of shape of the liquid. On what factor does it depend then? It depends upon the height of liquid column inside the container. So, hydrostatic paradox states that the pressure exerted by the liquid column in any container is independent of shape of that container. It depends upon only the height of liquid column. In very short, we can state hydrostatic paradox as the shape of vessel containing the fluid does not affect the pressure. साध्या सोप्या भाषेमध्ये ज्या कंटेनर मध्ये आपण लिक्विड टाकलेलं आहे त्या कंटेनरचा आकारावर त्या लिक्विडचं प्रेशर डिपेंड नसतं. कशावर डिपेंड असतं? मग त्या कंटेनर मध्ये लिक्विड कॉलमची उंची किती आहे त्याच्यावर ते डिपेंड असेल. मग ते आकाराने वेगवेगळं जरी असलं तरी त्याची उंची जर समान असेल तर प्रत्येकी सारखं प्रेशर एक्झर्ट करतं. जरी त्या आपण अपरंटली जर पाहिलं तर आपल्याला एखाद्या कंटेनर मधल्या पाण्याचं वजन हे जास्त वाटू शकतं. इथं लक्ष द्या, थोडंसं बघा. हायड्रोस्टॅटिक पॅराडॉक्सचं स्टेटमेंट केलं आपण, दॅट इज शेप ऑफ vessel containing the liquid does not affect the pressure of liquid. Consider here three vessels. They are having different shape. This first one is purely cylindrical. The second one is having same base as that of first, but its mouth, that is upper end, is quite wide as compared to first one. And in the third vessel or container, the base is same, but its upper end or opening is, we can say, a compact one as compared to this one. This is wider, this is very small one. This opening is small, this is wide, and this is moderate, you can say. So, but one thing is common in these three containers, that is height of liquid column is same. So apparently when we observe this figure, we will think about the second figure. Suppose this is figure A, this is B, and this is C. One can observe easily and one can explain, or one can note that pressure exerted by the liquid in container B must be greater as compared to rest of two. And in case of third cylinder C, the pressure measure will be very small as compared to rest of two. But it is not found so. All the pressure measuring meters measures equal reading. प्रथम पाहायला आपल्याला असं वाटू शकतं की बी सिलेंडरमध्ये की बी कंटेनरमधल्या लिक्विडचं प्रेशर हे जास्त असू शकतं, कारण याच्या पाण्याची पातळी किंवा पाणी जास्त आहे, त्याचं वजन जास्त आहे कम्पेअर टू या दोन्ही मधल्या पाण्याच्या. साहजिक आपल्याला असं वाटणं की त्याचं प्रेशर जास्त असू शकतं, पण नाही. या तिन्ही मीटरची रिडिंग जी असेल प्रेशरची ती सारखी असते. याचा अर्थ असा होतो की यांचे आकार काहीही असो, पण पाण्याच्या कॉलमची उंची जर सारखी असेल तर ते सारखं प्रेशर एक्झर्ट करतात. त्याला एक्सप्लेन कसं करणार? पहिल्या कंटेनरमध्ये जेव्हा हे लिक्विड आहे त्याचं वजन डाऊनवर्ड डायरेक्शनला काम करतं, ते कंटेनरच्या वॉलवर जेव्हा फोर्स एक्झर्ट करतं ते त्याला एक्झॅक्टली अपोजिट डायरेक्शन नॉर्मल रिएक्शन येते. मग ती नॉर्मल रिएक्शन एकमेकाची कॅन्सल करते, म्हणजे प्युअरली या सिलेंडरमधलं वजन जे असेल ते डाऊनवर्ड डायरेक्शनला प्रेशर एक्झर्ट करतं. कशाचं वजन? पाण्याचं. आता दुसऱ्या कंटेनरमध्ये बघा, इथं कळालं काय झालं तर in first cylinder total weight of the liquid is acting vertically in downward direction. This liquid also exerts pressure on this wall. In turn the wall exerts normal reaction. That normal reactions are perpendicular to the wall, therefore they cancel each other and total weight produce pressure. In first figure A. What about the second figure B? See here carefully. The walls of this container are inclined. Therefore, the weight of liquid is acting vertically in downward direction, but this liquid again exerts the pressure on these walls. In turn, wall exerts normal reaction. That normal reactions are perpendicular to the inclined surface. This normal reaction is a vector quantity. It can be resolved into two components, that is vertical component and horizontal component. Horizontal component are in the same direction, they cancel each other, but vertical component add up and they balance the weight of liquid. So this normal reaction component which is acting in vertical upward direction, this balances the weight of liquid. Therefore this liquid exerts some weight get reduced. याचं जे पूर्ण वजन होतं ते वजन काही प्रमाणात कमी होतं. कोण कमी करणार? हे जे नॉर्मल रिएक्शनचे व्हर्टिकल कंपोनंट आहेत ते अपवर्ड डायरेक्शनला काम करतात, ते थोडीशी वजाबाकी करणार. म्हणून ह्या कंटेनरवर जे प्रेशर एक्झर्ट केलं जाईल पूर्ण लिक्विडनं ते तेवढं असणार नाही, तर थोडं कमी होईल. किती? हे नॉर्मल रिएक्शनच्या कंपोनंट इतकं. म्हणून याची रिडिंग सुद्धा याच्या एवढीच असेल, कारण हा सरफेस खालचा सारखा आहे. तिसऱ्या फिगरमध्ये काय होईल? नाउ इन थर्ड केस द सेम पार्ट, the wall of container is inclined again, therefore the weight is acting vertically in downward direction, but the component of this normal reaction which is acting perpendicular to this wall of container are again they are resolved into two component normal reaction, horizontal component, vertical component. Vertical components are acting in downward direction, means in the direction of weight. So total weight of the liquid is now weight of liquid itself plus the effect of this vertical components in downward direction. Their sum takes place and it produces the same effect as that of the previous two containers. इथं जे खालच्या दिशेला काम करणार नॉर्मल रिएक्शनचे कंपोनेंट आहेत त्यांची बेरीज होईल, ती प्लस ह्या लिक्विडचं वजन एकूण त्याचं प्रेशर एक्झर्ट करतो, जे की परत एकदा पहिल्या दोन फिगर इतकंच असणार आहे. असं क्लिअर होतं या फिगरवरून एवढ्यावरून की त्या कंटेनरचा शेप काहीही असो, जर त्यांची लिक्विडची लेवल सारखी असेल तर त्याच्यावर प्रेशर हे सारखं येत असतं. हे झालं त्याचं एक्सप्लेनेशन. सो व्हॉट इज स्टेटमेंट ऑफ हायड्रोस्टॅटिक पॅराडॉक्स? द शेप ऑफ वेसल containing the liquid does not affect the pressure of liquid. किंवा the pressure exerted by the liquid in a container is independent of shape of the liquid, the shape of the container, but it depends upon the height of liquid column. So this is hydrostatic paradox. Now depending upon same hydrostatic paradox, we have to study Pascal's law. So what does Pascal's law states? The Pascal's law states that the pressure at any point, your pressure exerted by the liquid at any point, if a pressure is applied to the liquid at any point, that liquid must be at rest and it is again enclosed. So the pressure applied on the enclosed fluid at rest is transmitted equally and undiminished to the every point of the fluid and to the wall of container. What is the statement? The pressure applied at any point on the fluid which is enclosed and it is at rest, the applied pressure is equally or transmitted equally and undiminished at every point in the fluid and also on the wall of container. Condition is that effect of gravity is considered to be negligible. What is statement again? Pascal's law states that the pressure applied on the liquid at any point on the liquid which is enclosed in a container and the fluid is at rest, then the applied pressure is equally transmitted and undiminished at every point within the liquid and on the wall of container. साध्या सोप्या भाषेमध्ये पास्कलच्या नियमाचं स्टेटमेंट काय? एखाद्या बंद केलेल्या प्रवाही पदार्थावर जर आपण बल लावलं तर ते बल हे प्रसारित केलं जातं. कसं? इक्वली, समानपणे प्रसारित केलं जातं लिक्विड मधल्या प्रत्येक भागावर आणि कंटेनर जी आहे त्याच्या वॉलवर, ज्या कंटेनर मध्ये आपण ठेवलं त्याच्या प्रत्येक वॉलवर सुद्धा ते एक्सर्ट केलं जातं. सो स्टेटमेंट ऑफ Pascal's law states that the pressure applied on the liquid enclosed in a container and the fluid is at rest, then the pressure is equally transferred and undiminished in all directions at every point of the liquid and also on the wall of container. So the pressure applied on the liquid, enclosed liquid at rest is equally transferred and undiminished in all directions at every point in the liquid and on the wall of container. So this is the statement of Pascal's law. We have to explain Pascal's law using this figure. See here, this is a container or enclosure containing a liquid. It consists of a fluid. So this is the fluid enclosed in the container having 4 arms. This is A, one arm. Suppose this is A arm, this is B, this is C, and this is D arm. The ABCD arms are there. First arm has area of cross section equal to A. Second arm has area of cross section equal to 2A. Third arm has 3A, and fourth arm has A by 2. Fluid is enclosed in that container. Now if we apply pressure, this is enclosed by a piston, frictionless, massless, weightless piston is there, which is fixed in the opening, or that is arm. When force capital F is applied on the piston in arm A, it will exert pressure on this fluid. Now as per Pascal's law, this pressure is equally distributed in all directions and every part of liquid and wall of container. So this pressure on liquid is equally distributed in this arm, on this arm, and on this arm also. So this piston moves in outward direction through small distance due to the pressure. To balance the displacement of that piston, we have to apply 2F force on piston in arm B. Similarly, under the action of pressure by Pascal's law, some pressure acts on this piston also. It is displaced in outward direction. To balance the effect of internal pressure, we have to apply the force of 3F from outward direction. Also, piston in the arm D also get displaced in outward direction. To balance the effect of internal pressure, we have to apply some force F by 2 from outward side to balance the effect. So we can find the pressure at each and every point. Suppose at point A, at arm A, PA equal to, suppose PA equal to capital F by capital P. And it is arm, suppose B, at arm B, P at point B equal to 2F by 2A equal to again F by A. Similarly, at arm C, PC equal to, it is 3F by 3A, it is equal to again F by A. And last, at arm D, PD is equal to, it is F by 2 divided by area by 2, it is again F by A. So it is clear that therefore you can say P at point B equal to P at point C equal to P at point D. So the pressure is equally distributed at all the arms. We have applied pressure or force at arm A. पास्कलच्या लॉचं हे थिअरॉटिकल प्रूफ आहे किंवा एक्सपेरिमेंटल प्रूफ आहे. काय केलं एक्सपेरिमेंट, एक कंटेनर आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये इनकॉम्प्रेसिबल लिक्विड आपण भरलेले फ्लुइड आहे, इनकॉम्प्रेसिबल एनक्लोज केलं त्याला पूर्ण. ह्याला 3 आर्मला 3 पिस्टन बसवलेले आहे, फ्रिक्शनलेस आहे, टाईट आहे, एअर टाईट आहे. ए जे पिस्टन आहे इथं, ए जे आर्म आहे याच्यावर फोर्स F अप्लाय केला तर पिस्टन थोडंसं मध्ये सरकेल, म्हणजे मधल्या सरफेसवर मधल्या लिक्विडवरती प्रेशर एक्झर्ट करेल. पास्कलच्या नियमानुसार ते प्रेशर इक्वली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट व्हायला पाहिजे सर्व डायरेक्शनमध्ये, पण ते इक्वली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होईल. मग हे लिक्विड या पिस्टनवर फोर्स बाहेरच्या दिशेला एक्झर्ट करेल प्रेशर, म्हणून पिस्टन बाहेर सरकण्याचा प्रयत्न करेल. पण त्याला जर आपल्याला सरकू द्यायचं नसेल तर किती फोर्स अप्लाय करावा लागेल, 2F इतका. तसंच सी जवळचं पिस्टन बाहेर सरकू द्यायचं नसेल तर बाहेरच्या बाजूला 3F इतका फोर्स अप्लाय करावा लागेल. हे बाहेर सरकलं असते प्रेशरमुळे, त्याला बाहेर सरकू द्यायचं नसेल तर इतकं फोर्स आपल्याला अप्लाय करावं लागेल. प्रत्येक पॉईंटचं, प्रत्येक आर्मचं जर प्रेशर आपण काढलं तर आपल्याला असं लक्षात येतं की प्रत्येक ठिकाणचं प्रेशर हे सारखं आहे. मीन्स द प्रेशर इज इक्वली डिस्ट्रीब्युटेड इन ऑल डायरेक्शन्स, undiminished again, equally distributed in all direction at every point within the fluid and on the surface of wall. So this is statement of Pascal's law. So here the concept of hydrostatic paradox, its explanation, Pascal's law and its explanation. Next we will study the applications of Pascal's law in next lecture.